All right, guys, welcome back. With us today, we have the Middleton Vikings, single A division. Um, and if you guys just want to take a second to introduce yourselves, um, yeah,
My name is Darren Dean. I'm the coach. I've been the assistant coach for a year and a half. Last year, halfway through the season, took over as head coach, and this will be my first year as full year as a head coach. I was the head coach of the girls program for 6 years prior to that.
cool.
My name's Cody Dean, and I'm a junior.
My name is Dylan Moore, and I'm a junior.
Oh. uh, so we've got here a very young team, only one or two seniors. Is that correct? One.
Yeah, we're going to only end up with one senior this year.
Yeah. Okay. I got here on the do not miss honesty about being an unknown state, willingness to grow and adapt as the season unfolds, and then focus on work ethic over expectations. If you just want to maybe talk about those.
Yeah, so one of the big things we're really pushing this year is for start to finish. From the first whistle all the way through the end of the game, working hard. Every practice, we want to practice is game speed. You know, like it matters every day, every minute, always like it matters.
Yeah, definitely. So coming into this season, um, what are your expectations looking like?
With every season, I have very high expectations. One thing, we have a very solid junior group with some great leadership, and I'm going to count on them a lot. I think we have some extreme potential. We're going to have a lot of new players, a lot of young players, but I'm super excited. We brought on a new defensive coordinator this year, and Scott. I'm going to butcher it, I'm sure, but Lilacs, I think is his name, played at Bora, then went back east, played D3 for 4 years. So super excited about that. He's going to bring some great stuff to the team. So I have very high expectations. I think we're going to do pretty well.
That's awesome. I love to hear that. And then question for you guys: what did your off season look like, and what were you guys doing, like getting prepared for the season?
Over the summer, I played for True Lacrosse or Cityside Lacrosse, and then over the fall, I did a tournament for True, and just here and there picking up the stick.
I think for me, so I played with him for Cityside. I didn't do the tournament during the fall, but over the summer, it's just kind of picking up a stick, throwing it around with friends, shooting, working out, all the things.
Yeah. Um, and also, like I said earlier, with a really young roster, what does it mean for like leadership, uh, and who's stepping up into those roles, and kind of what does that look like with a young team?
I think leadership is really just a crucial role between all, especially the higher grades, whether that's leading um, the younger teammates, kind of showing them what to do, what not to do, what's okay, what's not okay, um, and kind of just showing them how to improve and grow and have good mindset, kind of thing.
For me, I don't think like year is as big of an issue. I think it's more of who's willing to take responsibility for the team
Hmm.
and like who's just ready to control and like I guess just step up.
Yeah, definitely. Question for Coach here. What does early season success look like for you guys? Um, yeah, what does that look like?
For me, ultimately, success isn't going to be defined by wins losses right off the bat. Obviously we win every game, but for me it's going to be building the culture. Are we coming together as a team? Are we supporting each other? Are we there 100% for each other? Using a saying we were talking about on the way here, are we playing for the team on the front or the name on the back? And that's really the defining thing. I want to play for the the team on the front, like come together as a tight knit group. And I think if we can do that, that will ultimately show success.
Yeah. This is for anybody here. What excites you the most for this season, um, and like this group that you have?
I'm just excited to get to know the boys on the team and just build the connections and get closer to everybody.
I'm excited to just play again, play with all the friends that I've played with for years, meet new people, help teach new people, and kind of just grow as a team as a whole.
Hmm.
And for me, like I said, we have a very solid junior class, and I'm excited to see that leadership with them come out. I'm excited to see what they're capable of doing, what they can bring to the table. We've got some very athletic players coming in that maybe haven't played before, and I'm really excited to see how they develop and what they can turn into. For me as a coach, that's always the most exciting thing is to watch these kids come along.
Yeah, definitely. Um, and this is a question for you guys here. How do you like stay confident as roles continue to evolve? And within like midfield, or you guys probably are all over the place. Yeah, how do you stay confident?
For me, staying confident it's all about mental, which is really like I guess is really difficult when it comes down to it. But being confident all comes down to mentals. Whether that could be scoring a whole bunch for someone, but for another person that could be getting passes down good in like a live action game kind of thing. So like for me, that would be keeping my mentals along with helping the team out, whether that's scoring, playing D, winning faceoffs, anything.
For me, I would say definitely a mentality thing, and then also just trusting my teammates to do their job and just work as hard as they can.
Yeah, definitely. And what are you guys trying to prove this season? Like end goals, and what are you trying to prove?
I think as a team that we're trying to prove that we're not just a whole bunch of kids that came together to play for fun. I whether that is the truth or not, I think that we really could be a winning team, and we could um, upset a lot of people and a lot of teams.
I think for a while we've been kind of considered underdogs, and so I think it'd be, I don't know, just try and show like other teams like what we can actually do
Hmm.
and really show our skills.
Yeah. Um, so, Coach, this is one for you. So, what has to go right for those things to happen in this team to really take a step forward?
I think to start with, it has to be accountability. Each and every player has to show up every day, work hard, um, you know, fight for each other. And I think, that's the number one step. As long as they do that, then the pieces will fall into place. As coaches, we'll get it figured out, but the players, as long as they just come out there and just work hard every single day, everything will fall into place.
Yeah. And also another question kind of about that. How do you guide uh, a really young team through uncertainty, like without totally overwhelming them?
So I'm a big guy on mental performance. I've done some courses on it and all that kind of stuff, and I really try to preach that to the players. Adversity is just a step. It's something that you learn from, and it's the next play mentality. Like if you make a mistake, just clap it away. It's okay. Everybody's gonna make mistakes. You just got to move forward. So I think as a coach, it's teaching these kids that and getting them to understand and believe in that. And I think that'll just speak for itself once it happens.
Yeah. Question for Cody here. So, as a junior, how do you help set the tone, like with effort and work ethic, and what does that look like?
I'd say it's most important to bring the energy because with a lot of the younger players, if you bring the energy, they'll most likely follow because most people like thrive for that like higher energy and they like that higher energy. And if you are able to bring it, then everybody will follow.
Yeah, definitely. And I got one for Dylan as well. So, how do you approach face-offs when momentum is up for grabs?
Me personally, I take it as I'm gonna win it every time. Honestly, um, it's just a win all mentality that I know I can do it, no matter if that's one way or the other. I can make it happen, especially with the help of my teammates. I know it's possible.
Yeah, definitely. one more here about just about the season in general. What do you hope people say about Middleton lacrosse by the end of the season?
What I really hope that people will say is that we genuinely are a good team, and that we're not like just a free win. That when you play us, it's just going to be a free win. That it was honestly a hard game. If they do end up winning, then it was a hard game and it wasn't just given.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's the main goal.
Yeah.
And I think that like if we can just get respect from everybody, that'll be a big part. And I don't know, like just people considering us like well trained, like um I don't know, just like aggressive, but like disciplined.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right too. My big thing is he kind of hit it right there. Disciplined, hardworking, and just never quit. Those are the things that they come out there and they say everybody wants to win for each other. That team is everybody's got each other's back.
Yeah. Looks like we got a question from the
We got a
crowd.
question. I'm excited for this conversation here at Middleton, and I've always thrived myself personally on like proving things out of spite, right? So they don't think I can do it. I'll show them I can do it, right? And then the confidence that builds upon that. These undertones of your answers here have that like let's just let's step into the ring, boys, and I'll show you what we can do. And I absolutely love that grit coming, and it's in a very controlled manner. And I'm excited to see when you guys unleash this on the field and step up and start showing some folks. So, what are the keys to managing that motion? Right. So at face off, it can be hot, right, and it can be confusing. It can be a lot of things all at once. So something that where like you're managing that, those emotions, or maybe it's your teammate that's going to help you out and your coach at the same time. You guys, young guys, are going to have to rely on each other to, bring the passion, but also, know when to keep it cool and so you don't burn out. So any tips or tricks that you're working on that?
I mean, I would just say it all starts at practice. Like you practice how you play. And like if you bring the energy at practice, you'll bring the energy in the game. You bring like all the effort at practice, you'll bring all the effort in the game. So
I 100% would agree with what he's saying, but it also comes along with, again, mentals. Is if you have mentals, you really have nothing as an athlete when it comes to any sport. Because if you go into whatever you're doing with, like, you're super angry and you're just gonna take it out on something else, or that will decrease your your grit, your your drive, and just go for revenge necessarily than playing the game,
Mm-hmm.
which is a problem that me and a lot of other teammates have gone through, but are fixed and will be better and progressed through this next year, which I think will be a major change with the team.
Absolutely, I love it. And follow up on that. I think that's the difference when these younger teams kind of have this mix of young and medium old guys, let's say. That's the mental endurance that comes to the season here. Not getting down on yourselves, coach. How do you help manage that with those guys? There's going to be that passion. They're going to want to, make those statement games. How you keep them patient but yet hungry with that.
Yeah. So that's a great thing because that is both of these guys here started their freshman year and have played varsity all through that whole time. So they're pretty war tested, but it comes back to that mental performance side of it, right? Really just talking to them on how to control their emotions. And that's something that, I've always been really big on. And I think that is a key to it all. And then, like Cody said at practice, both of these guys here do face-offs. And I mean, it is all out war. They don't take it easy on each other, and I don't allow it. And so I think by them doing that with each other at practice, they've been battle tested. And so when it comes into a game, there's not much that gets in their head. They stay pretty calm and composed, and that's the biggest thing. I think it's just working on that composure factor every day at practice, not allowing things to get out of hand. If it gets out of hand at all at practice, I mean, there's instantly, hey, you got to go run, go, burpees, whatever it is, just keep them so that they realize there's consequences for their actions.
Yeah. So last season, finding identity, and I'm just curious, what progress have you seen so far out of these guys, and what does that look like?
Well, yeah, so last year really showed. The first half of the season was pretty rough. We talk a lot about the matchup against CUNA. We played them early in the season. I think we lost something like 17-2 or something like that. It was bad. These guys came back. We made some changes. We worked really hard. When it came back to it, we played them again. Second time, we lost by 1 goal. They scored with less than 30 seconds left. I mean, it was an absolute war the entire game, and that shows what they're capable of doing. It shows the transition they made, the grit, the improvement. I mean, they just never gave up. And that's how the whole season went. I mean, they just fought and fought and fought. And unfortunately, some of our losses in the beginning of the season dictated the outcome of the rest of the season. But I mean, they just even until the last game. I mean, they just fought all the way through.
Yeah, definitely. And hearing all this, talking about last season and things like that, what are kind of some of the positives of being underestimated early coming into this season?
I think a lot of the teams are going to be a little bit cocky and confident, but I think if we bring out the energy and just work as a team, I think we can just prove them wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think for a lot of teams, us beating them will come out to a surprise to them, which would be happy to me, honestly.
Mm-hmm. Do you have anything on that, Coach? The positives?
The positives, I think, we really came together as a team, and I think there's definitely going to be some teams out there who are not gonna overestimate us and not come in as confident. But I think really these boys, they're gonna, I think if they do what they're capable of doing and they show up and they play, they're gonna surprise a lot of people. And we got a lot of work to do. We got a lot of new players, but it'll all come together. And I think, like I said, with the leadership of these guys and some of our others on the team, I think we'll have a very successful season because of that.
Yeah, definitely. Are there any matchups that you guys are really looking forward to? Yeah, teams, maybe player matchups. Anything you guys have?
I don't know. I'm pretty ready for all the teams. I'm just ready to play lacrosse.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll say all of them. I mean, I got friends on every team, so it's just fun playing against them, beating them. So just all the teams, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you guys have any specific game day routines that you go through? Could be as a team or just individually.
I mean, I usually just start getting ready, listening to music, and
What do you like to listen to?
a little bit of everybody, mainly Lil Uzi. But I just get locked in and just focus.
Awesome.
I think for me, it's a similar transition from football. It's just like you just start the day. It's again all mentals. So it's just being mentally ready, and then when that time comes for your body to be ready with it too, which I think for me it's a lot of that is music for mental,
Mhm.
whether that be jazz or rock, either one.
Yeah,
So yeah,
I'm a big fan of jazz.
what it is.
Do you have any, Coach? Any rituals?
I don't know that I have any real rituals. I mean, I try to, I'm a creature of habit. So I guess you could say rituals. I mean, I show up at the field early every single day. I lay out the field myself. It's kind of, that taking that time and walking and putting all the cones out and laying all the balls out, doing everything, getting it ready. It's like, that's my just mental preparation and being locked in, ready to go when the boys be there. So they're just ready to go.
Yeah, that's awesome. For the players, how do you guys keep the team steady during games? And kind of what do you say? And what does that look like?
For me, I think just keeping the energy up and just keeping everybody hyped up keeps the energy at a steady level where we want it to be.
I think it's keeping positive, level-headed, energy high, whether that's sideline or playing. Just high energy because that creates positivity, and with the more you score, the more energy there is.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all leading back to itself.
Yeah. And Coach, how do you measure progress beyond wins and losses?
Once again, it's kind of goes back to the team environment, right?
Mhm.
If for me, I see progress as whether it be on the field or off the field. If a kid's struggling in school and another kid steps up to help him, it's the whole team environment and being there for each other and having each other's back. To me, that's success, and that's what I'm measuring. That the tighter they get, the happier I am. Like I said, wins and losses come, and the more we can do as a team, the better off we'll be. But that's where I see that progression coming, is just watching them grow together.
Awesome. Yeah. So for you guys, what are aspects of your game that you guys are really excited to go out there and show?
I mean, I think us two were pretty decent on the faceoffs, and those early game possessions are crucial. So just showing that we can control the ball at the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, for me, it's to be really like more than everyone else on a midi perspective. So a lot of people will have really strong offensive attributes as a midi and then lack defense. But my goal for me and just all of our other middies, him, to be strong on the face-offs, strong with defense, and especially strong on offense, because it's all crucial. Because if you have some defense that's helping and you have no midi defense is helping, you have nothing.
Yeah. And Coach, I got one more for you. So talking about how previously you did 6 seasons for the girls as head coach, what do you draw from those other um, coaching experiences, and how do you use them today?
Well, I learned a lot. Like on the girls' side, it's tougher than on the guys' side, in the aspect of I've had less. Each year with the girls' team, I was lucky if I had one player that was new that had ever played before. So, we had great success, and it was all with players that had never played before. And
Mhm.
so I think a lot of that is just, getting them, you buy into the culture and you develop that culture. And that's ultimately what helps. It's been an interesting transition between the two. They're so different, even with just the personalities are so
Mhm.
different. But it's really helped. I've learned a lot through that, and it really kind of transitioned over to really just what I learned there was building the culture, and that's really what we're doing here.
Yeah, right on. Well, thank you guys. You guys are coming up into next season hungry, ready to go. And I just want to thank you guys for coming and doing this. It was a ton of fun talking to you guys. Yeah, thank you.